Now that the class is correctly initialized, what we can do as the next step is to initialize all the pins, okay, for the components. Okay, we have some functions here, some method init, okay, as you can see for the LED. For the push button also we have a function init, so we need to call those methods, and actually we can call them directly from the traffic light. And I'm also going to implement the functions so we can control the different LEDs, okay? Because the traffic light, what it will do, it will basically set the light to red or to yellow or to green, etc. So we can create methods to do just this. And I'm going to go to the traffic light header file, and I'm going to add here in the public, I'm going to add 4 new methods. So void init. So again, and that's similar to what we did with the LED blinker, okay? In the LED blinker, we have init LED, which is just going to call the init method from the LED. So what we could do is we could just init each of the component here independently from the traffic light. But as a more convenient way to do this, we can just create an init inside traffic light, which is going to handle all of that. And that's going to save us some lines of code in the main file, okay? So init, and then I'm going to simply name the functions red, and then void yellow, void green. And I'm going to handle the green, so the blink green, okay, actually a little bit later. And well, actually I'm not going to just create 4 methods, I'm going to add a new one, all off. So let's say all LEDs off. So we will implement one method to just power on the red LED, one method to power on the yellow LED, one method to power on the green LED, and one method to power off all the LEDs. So now what I can do, I can just copy this, go to trafficlight.cpp, paste it, remove indentation, and then I'm going to add the kind of the namespace for the class here, so after the data type and before the name of the function. I remove the semicolon, I add curly brackets for the implementation. So I do this for every function, so then I just need to write the implementation code. Okay, and that's done. So let's start with the init method. So the init method will just call the init method from all of the other components we have. So we have red LED, yellow LED, and green LED. I'm going to do red LED.init, and then yellow LED.init, green LED.init. I have a green LED blinker, but I don't need to do anything with this, okay? Because the green LED blinker just contains one green LED, so I'm not going to init the green LED twice. And then I have the push button, so button.init. Okay, and if you are not sure which method to call, you just go back to the interface, okay, push button, for example, init, you have the init here. For the LED, you have init, and you also have another init with the default state. But we just want the normal one. And one thing I'm going to add here, I'm going to add just a delay of 100 milliseconds. And why is that? Because, well, just when I've tested the complete program, actually, the thing is that when you init the button and you read directly after that, so in my specific case, I could have some wrong data just a few milliseconds after initializing the component. So what I do is I add a delay of 100 milliseconds, which is quite quick, and that's not really a problem here because we are going to call the init function here from the setup function of the main program. So that's going to be called only once at the beginning, and we are not going to call that anymore in the loop. So waiting 100 milliseconds in the setup, in the void setup is actually okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call, so I have not implemented this method yet, but I'm going to call it from the init function. I'm going to call red. Okay, because when I init the traffic light, what I want to do is to initialize the component, but also initialize the state of the traffic light. Okay, and the primary state, so the default state and the primary one, is that the LED, so the red LED is powered on. So I directly call red to power on the red LED when we initialize the traffic light object. And now, so let's implement the red, yellow, and green and all LEDs off. And those functions are actually super simple. For the red LED, you just do red LED.on and then yellow LED.off and green LED.off. Let's just copy this. For the yellow LED, you are going to do red LED off and then yellow LED on and green LED off. And then for the green LED, so red LED will be off, yellow also, and the green is on. And for all LEDs off, you just put everything to off like this. Okay, so you can see here, like the red method and all of the other methods are quite easy to understand because we already have the abstraction of the LED class. And from that abstraction, we add another layer of abstraction. So now whenever we just call red, so traffic light.red is going to just power on the red LED of the traffic light. Traffic light.yellow is going to power on only the yellow LED of the traffic light, etc. We don't need to worry about any of the specific LEDs, any of the digital write function or anything. We just need to do traffic light.yellow. So I think we are done with this step. Now what we can do, go back to the main, and in the void setup, I am going to do traffic light.init. So as you can see now, the setup just has one line of code. And this is going to initialize all the components correctly from the information that we gave before. So I'm going to test this code on the real circuit. And if you want, what you can do is also you can test. So in the loop, you can test the red, the yellow, the green, and all LEDs off methods if you want to. Let's actually do this. So I do traffic light dot. So it's red first. I'm going to do, so let's do red. Okay, let's add a delay. Just so we make a very basic code in the loop to test the functionality. And then we are going to remove that code for the next step. Traffic light yellow, another delay, and then traffic light green, another delay, and let's test also traffic light all LEDs off and delay. And let's upload this to the Arduino, so make sure your Arduino is connected. Okay, and you can see we have red, yellow, green, and all off. Okay, red, yellow, green, all off, and etc, etc. So the good news now is that our traffic light class is working correctly, and we can already manipulate the LEDs in the class. And the other good news is that the main file is now super short. We just have one line to initialize everything, and the higher level methods that we have created in the traffic light class make much more sense, add a lot of context, and make it super easy to use.